For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. He that believeth on the Son hath everlasting life, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God abideth on him. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their inquiry. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. And I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord, when I shall lay my vengeance upon him. Deep words and deep verses from the Bible, which explains times like this. This is a call for arms from 2A. This is not a game anymore. It appears that we have had hell unleashed on us on this earth and in this country. 2A must flatten the curve of destruction in America. Virginia sheriffs and police need to deputize their citizens and give a stiff crackdown on rioters and Antifa. Any peaceful protests should be protected, and we need to respond immediately to those that use it to cause havoc. March with them armed and be prepared to isolate the threat. It's time to take our country and our great commonwealth back. Moses freed his people. Time for you to have faith to free ours. Many are called, but few are chosen. Many of you right now are reading the Bible, and right next to your Bible is your gun. You're cleaning it out, and you're hearing a voice in your head that's telling you enough is enough. We are at war with the devil, and America is being used as his playground. The time of being in fear, silent, or inaction is over. We must do what we have to do to bring our great Commonwealth of Virginia out of the devil's hands and show this great country of ours, which we call America, will always be protected by men and women of God. See, pastors are called there to preach and be the generals that send out the message and send out the orders to their congregation and their flock. They are there to protect them at all costs, especially when the devil is roaming the streets. I know it's one more time that you're being asked and being called up in your lifetime to protect this country and our freedoms. It is a duty not many can handle or get accomplished. It is an honor and a right and a privilege that God has given you the chance and the opportunity to show exactly what we are really about. Now, I know why you cleaning out your gun and getting prepared for the storms, the thunder, the lightning that's coming all across your way. Those who are leaning towards you in 2A to bring back calm and peace, and in your hand lays a piece of steel in order to accomplish that peace. The judgment is not given out for those who are reckless. It is about law and order and living with God's will. What we see all across America is the devil's work. The smoke and mirrors to use good causes for his will to bend it over across America on his people. When we are under attack, we rise up from the ashes to know that again, we must make sure that America has confidence that God's will come first, not those who go against it. The last measure of devotion is death. Why should we live on our knees when we should be on our feet, standing up proudly and making sure that America's fundamental values and morals come first? We should never let this fit of terror put us into our homes and keep us under another lockdown where we can no longer roam the streets in peace. What value do we have of life if we only are here on this planet to protect our own and not those who are more vulnerable to the devil's plans? We have a right to defend ourselves as a matter of human nature, to protect family and our loved ones, our neighbors and our friends from harm's way. These groups now put us in this situation where if you are getting the call and you're ignoring the phone call from God to get involved into this fight, then this is what happens. We get taken over by the enemy. And then by that time frame, earth comes the devil's hell. Now, this is a call for arms for all those who are talking the talk, ain't walking the walk. We cannot bluff anymore at this time period. The fire is burning from one part of the state and coming all the way across the country. It's time for us to put that fire right on out. Sometimes talking soft and calm with the devil, that's what he wants. He wants to know you will not respond as he continues action on his plans. We must use our ability to protect ourselves and protect our country and show America what we are all about. We should not let criminals that they have unleashed by these politicians spread out and do harm to people's families, to their livelihoods, and what they have bled, shed tears, had their blood for all of our freedoms and rights, and it's time for us to protect them. Our constitutional rights is not an option. Our freedoms is not an option. To be put in slavery by the government is not an option. The founders knew this time would come. And that time is right now, here in America. We are fighting for our children of tomorrow and those of today. We cannot be cowards at this time period. We cannot give the responsibility just to police and the U.S. military. This is time period for all of us to be on board as one nation under God, fighting for what we know we should have, fighting for what we know is in His will. There needs to be our army rising up, standing in solidarity, working together, and holding that these truths of our inalienable rights will always have purpose here in America, and send that message to the devil who is going all across the globe. Enough is enough. That call from God that you're getting right now, as you sit at home wondering what tomorrow's going to be like. The time for you to start looking at yourself and say, am I doing enough for my country? And is my country doing enough for me? Because the politicians has abandoned us. We are on our own. And I can tell you this, as governor of Virginia, I will pardon all those who protect life, protect their family, whether it's at home or out there on the streets. Because these politicians ain't there to protect you. They are there to lock you up, to make your family more vulnerable to these criminals, to these that do the devil's work, to those who use hate to stomp out peace, those who use hate to stomp out love, those who use divisiveness to make sure we don't come together. Because when we come together from all walks of life and backgrounds and stand on one thing, and that says exactly we are taking America back by any means. This is a tough day for all of our children. God knows it. Faith ain't nothing without works. This is the time frame to be the backup. When the military has to come into Virginia and all across these states to do a job that our politicians can't do. To enslave his own people for criminals. That's exactly what these terrorists want. They want us to look at each other as the enemy. They want us to spread the fear. They want us to hide and be cowards. They want us not to speak up and to be silent while they do the devil's work. All of those who have called muster, from those militias and to those who walked out in the hail, sleet, rain, and snow for our rights since the beginning of time. We had to fight for it. We wanted peace, but we knew that there would be a battle and a war to follow. Evil doesn't have that type of quit to surrender. Evil must be put back where it belongs, and we need to drive it right to hell and give it a one-way ticket. As those people march, those who really are about peace, we should have been protecting them, and then seeing those who wasn't about it and stomping them out from the beginning. This is a failure of leadership. But God has always gave us a promise that He would never leave us. Now it's time for us to unleash the wrath that God has bestowed on us. We must want to fight for it. We must want to fight for the change. We have been locked up in the house for too long. They ain't talking about coronavirus like they was the days prior. They are not talking that same crap that they have spilled over into every single household to let them know we tell you what to do. We tell you how to talk. We tell you how to think. We tell you how to walk. When will America think for itself? When the government abandons you, you do not abandon America. Because America is America. The government is only there to protect government. Our lives got to mean more while we living and breathing. We cannot and will not bow down to evil. Evil has its place. For my eyes has seen the mountaintop, and I may not get there with you. My path is a little bit different. But my path has never said for me to quit, for me to surrender, for me not to protect, not for me to leave my family by itself at the times when we need them the most. It's time for the heads of household to be prepared for what is coming. Look at the pattern. Chaos has it. Destruction has it. Those who are motivated has their agenda, and their agenda is not for America to be free, but America to be in fear and be slaves. We prohibited that type of conduct with amendments, but we forgot along the way how those amendments became constitutional laws and the ability to make sure it's a natural and human right that we see and not blinded from. See, sometimes people talk war. They talk fight. But they're the first ones running from it. Now we have the wolves attacking the sheep. And these politicians has turned a blind eye to it. We see people attack for no reason. That spreads that hate. That memory of knowing people watched as you bled and died on the street. Now they say it's time for action, but we should have been preempted from the start, not responsive. What point is it for us to be 2A? What point is it to have militias that's well armed if we are not going to use it? I call on you to patrol your neighborhoods, protect your businesses, because what the police can't do, we must be there to do it. We can't point the responsibility on them. They have showed their answer. They have said that if you decide to protect yourself, protect your family, we will back you. And I know government officials have made it more diluted than ever. But you do what you have to do during this time period to protect this country against this devil that has tried to take over. Because the one thing the devil doesn't like, it wants to make sure it doesn't exist, because it's better for the message when the devil is inside you, not when the devil is roaming around doing whatever it wants and using you as a vessel. I understand the speeches that were done yesterday. I understand the anger and fury. But there is nothing ever that is going to excuse lawlessness. There's nothing ever going to excuse the murder of God's children. Nobody is going to be without conviction and consequence if they allow this to continue to happen without taking action. Today we must, and we will, take America back. From city to city, county to county, town to town, to street, block by block. You do whatever it takes. You stop the talking, bitching, and moaning. And it's time for us to fight back and crush the enemy. I do not want America's future to be this new normal. So the talk is over. The games is over. I guarantee you, as your next governor of Virginia, we will not shut down like this. I will make sure those who defend this country, those patriots, if they try to prosecute you for defending our Commonwealth of Virginia, defending this country, I guarantee you a pardon and our heroes welcome and celebration. Because you did what others couldn't do. That's why God put it on you. I didn't know I was going to be in this race. I didn't know our Second Amendment rights was going to try to be taken. I didn't know our right to protest was under attack like this. But guess what? God lets you know that. God puts you 5 steps ahead of the devil's curve. Yes. So when you are getting that call, don't ignore it. Don't send it to voicemail. It's time for you militias to wake up. It's time for you law-abiding gun owners to wake up and take back your neighborhoods. So when they send out that threat, when they send out those words that says, I want your community, I want your state and country to be in fear, you don't give them silver, you give them motherfuckers lead. And that's exactly how we get our country back.